this form of marketing is completely changing. Firstly, before I get started, I just want to say a warm welcome to everybody who's logged in to this webinar, live streamers from across 10 countries via YouTube, LinkedIn, and corporate broadcasts happening across companies. So thank you very much for jumping on. And as you go through different mediums, do send in your questions as you go through. All right, so let's get started on the AI SEO, AI search engine optimization, the new paradigm shift. Now you might be wondering, well, why am I here? Why, as a digital marketeer or entrepreneur, I'm here? I've spent so many years doing what I do, and it's been pretty good for me. So why do I ever think about AI SEO? And here's the reality of it. For the last 2 years, I've been harping on about this massive change which is going to happen across all digital platforms. And this change began with the last few months in a massive way. And this is my absolute belief that if we don't change how we operate today in the space of digital marketing, we will not have a company going forward. We will not have a marketing engine or a way to get customers, because this form of marketing is completely changing thanks to the massive input of AI. So to make it more real and to showcase what's happening today, and if you don't change straight away, to show you what's going to happen, there are two examples for you. This example that I have for you is HubSpot. Now, HubSpot is a company which coined the term inbound marketing. They were the pioneers in some ways of SEO for marketing for B2B and B2C. They saw a massive downfall of 80% of monthly visits on the back of the massive change in Google and other players. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And that is in B2B primarily. And here's an example of B2C. Check in the US market in education, so their monthly visits go down by 34%. Every organization is now in the midst of a massive shift and change, especially in marketing, thanks to this AI-bound change. And the time is today to make sure we are ready for this massive change happening across all these industries, online, and as it happens, also offline as well. We'll see all that today in this presentation. We're going to go through a comprehensive approach to the AI SEO or AI marketing focus, digital marketing's next generation. All right, a little bit about myself. My name is Raj Goodman. I'm the founder and CEO of Goodman Lantern. Also, just a bit of background about myself. I'm an engineer by profession, did research in AI 21 years back, where I was on a PhD program. And then I launched my first startup, took one from zero to acquisition, worked as C-level staff, worked in startups. I've worked in B2B, B2C, and really my focus is here to help people educate and grow. In fact, talking about education, big approach and big focus here with Goodman Lantern and another company called AI First Mindset is to educate 1 million people around how to use AI better to grow their opportunities in their organizations and companies. The company, as I mentioned, is called Goodman Lantern. We are a women-led organization. 72% of our team members are women. And apart from that, I'm also a corporate AI trainer. I train people on how to use AI. One major shift we are seeing right now is what we call CAIO, Chief AI Officers. The reality is every department of our company is being transformed with AI, and we at Goodman and AI First Mindset are really working to help people become more aware and be ready for this change. And here is the reality of what's happening today. This is Eric Schmidt, the former chairman and CEO of Google. The reality is, in his own words, if you're not using AI at every aspect of your business, you are not going to make it. And that is what we are seeing currently in marketing as well. So let's dive straight away into AI SEO. This term has been coined and it's been used in different forms. Some people call it AI SEO, so other people call it GEO, some call it AIO. Doesn't matter what you call it, it's still a big transformation. So why does this matter for us? And what has caused this change for us in our companies and in digital marketing overall? Well, there are two reasons why the change is happening. Well, as it happens, SEO has changed forever. For many people who are in the know, AI is a preferred search destination. So whether you are a ChatGPTer or a Perplexity person, or you prefer Gemini, doesn't really matter. There is a massive shift in people using these AI tools for their research. Number two is that Google itself embedded this change in their own search as well. So Google.com now will show you AI overviews, especially when you are at the point of transaction. So within Google itself, you'll see a massive change happening there. And that is because Google is now using what we call AI overview or AI answers. And here is what you can see. And it means that when you enter a search term, especially at the time of transactions happening, you can see that preview on top. So when you have the answer summary right on top, why would you want to go and click on the actual web pages? And that is why several websites have been seeing up to 40% downfall on their traffic or weekly or monthly visitors, because people are seeing that Google is serving them directly without the need to go into their sites, which was what never happened before. Hence, Chegg as well as HubSpot has seen a massive downfall in their traffic. Let's go a little further. So if you look at this whole system and what's going on, a big culprit, or the reason why things are happening, is because their competitor, which is, as it happens, ChatGPT, is growing dramatically. At the moment, we are in July, but last month, in June, their weekly users were 800 million. And that has, in fact, doubled from February 2025. So at that point in time, it was 400 million, and now we're at 800 million. And they have said at ChatGPT or OpenAI that they will go to 1 billion weekly users by December. And in my opinion, in my experience, talking to other people in the know, they will surpass that to about 1.2 billion weekly users, which is colossal. I mean, most people won't even know what ChatGPT was 3 years back. And today, everyone's talking about it. And that's what's happening in a massive way, which is changing things for us. Now, if you are a ChatGPT user or if you use Gemini, you will notice that there are two different areas of searches. And they are called a web search versus an AI model search. Let me explain. In AI, when we train or teach AI, we often ask the AI researchers to go and learn about the human brain. Because the way we train AI is like how we train our children. So we give our children multiple examples and then test them, and that forms a neuron in the brain. In a similar way for AI as well, we give it a lot of data and we test it. And that then trains the AI itself. That is called the brain of the AI, or the corpus of the AI in AI speak. And so if you switch off the online research or web search, for example, or real-time search, what you have is what we call the corpus search or the AI model search. So the answers are already in its brain. But you can also get into what we call real-time search or web search. And today, almost half of that search is happening through a real-time search. So when you ask a question, it will go to the web, find the answer for you, and give you the source as well. That's currently at 46%, but that is growing massively. So more and more so, we will see that the AI will fetch the data in real time. So the rest 54% is basically we asking the question from the AI, and the AI goes to his brain and gives the answer. This FYI, today, ChatGPT's AI brain is stuck in June 2024. So the real-time answers are not available unless you click on the web search, or if, for example, you ask a question which forces it to go and do an online search for you. So as you can see in the slide, when you enter a question which is forcing it to go online, it'll find the answer for you and give the sources as well. Now, this is very different if you ask the same question on ChatGPT versus Google results. So here you'll notice that for the same question, the answers are different, because the way ChatGPT or any other AI tool interprets data is very different from Google. And yes, they are converging, but there will always be a bit of a difference there. And today's session is to really help you maximize that opportunity so that you can get the majority of success from this. So we talk about the market share amongst these AI tools. The majority, no surprises there, is a ChatGPT. Remember, ChatGPT also powers Microsoft Copilot and Apple Intelligence. So today, 3/4 of the AI search is happening via OpenAI ChatGPT. The rest of it is spread across Google's Gemini. That includes the Gemini tool, which they have within the corporate suite as well as normal, and then Perplexity. The Perplexity is not a large language model. It's not an LLM. It is actually a combination of different AI tools put together, but is the pioneer of research. When it comes to research online, Perplexity is the pioneer. So the question is, how do I get this share of the market? How can my brand be visible to people when they search on ChatGPT, Gemini, or Perplexity, or the tools in the future? I present to you strategies on AISEO or GEO or AIO. You call it what you want to call it, they are all the same. So here are two opportunities that you have for yourself. But before I go into that, I'm going to talk about why is AISEO so important. So number one reason is always, and this has happened with Google or with ChatGPT, the start of a search. So we're searching for a tool, a product, a service, a car, a massive ERP solution. The search begins with a search online. That used to be Google, and now it will be ChatGPT or tools like that. Number two, if you miss the SEO wave, you have the opportunity now to maximize that with AI SEO. So if you capitalize on AI SEO, you can win that opportunity of being discovered through online search. Number three, it's a future-proof strategy. AI is not going anywhere. It's here to stay. So you have the opportunity to buy into a strategy and grow with it. So when you invest into AI SEO, you are in a opportunity which will keep growing for you constantly, and that will help you take your business to the next level. So what are the two opportunities you have with an AI SEO? Here are the two opportunities for you. Number one is what we call answer optimization. So when and the user enters a prompt, you appear as the answer. Here we go. Here's an example for you. You look for best telecom content writers, and your company appears there as the answer. That obviously is the best way to be discovered. When you enter a term for your market, you get shown there. Number two is what we call citation optimization. Effectively, when people enter a prompt or a term or a search, you come there as the source of the information. Here you can see on the right-hand side, there is citation available to you, like you would see in a research paper, and the answers are on the left-hand side and you on the right-hand side. What's really awesome is you can actually appear on both these sides as the answer and the citation as well. And so that is the holy grail opportunity for every company who's available today, who wants to grow today in the AI SEO world. Let's go further. So I'm going to show you now 9 strategies around content that can really help you optimize. Then we're going to go into some more technical stuff as well, so it can really help you lift your opportunity with AI SEO. So when it comes to content strategies with AI SEO, here's number 1. Mention your brand alongside key terms naturally. Unlike the era of SEO on Google, we all are guilty as marketeers to stuff keywords, for example, to make it sound a little bit artificial, but get the keywords in, the keyword density optimized for. That is the past. Today, it's about being authentic, because as it happens, the AI can understand the context really well. And if we are trying to manipulate the system, it will give us negative points for that. That's number 2, be authentic about your approach to using content. Number 3 is create on different platforms like social media, news sites, newspapers, industry blogs. I will go into a bit of a deep dive into this in the next few minutes. You'll see this is a very important strategy. And as it happens, it is the crux on which these AI tools work. We'll dive into that in a little bit again. Let's go a little further. One thing you'll see today with AI SEO or AI tools is that it likes to get answers to complex questions. And if you can answer complex questions in a natural, authentic way, you get pulled out from there and get shown as a source of information, and your answer gets published there as well. So answering complex questions is a very credible way of getting information. Alongside with that, it's about credible data. When you are creating content there, make sure your data is credible. And alongside that, you also have citation and trusted quotes. All these really help to rank you better. Following for that, it's about adopting the idea of being clear and have a authoritative tone. In the era of AI SEO, there isn't an opportunity to just be a Me Too site. You have to be the pioneer in your space. When you talk with conviction about the subject matter, you're bound to get better and more regular visits from these AI bots. Again, we'll talk about that in a little bit, but it's about being authentic and clear. Next thing is being fluent and readable. As it happens, fluency, readability, and stats can help you get 6% more visibility on AI SEO. So your content has to be fluent, readable, and has to have stats as part of it, because that will allow you to be seen more often, and these bots will come to your site more often. And then finally, metadata and schema markup. These are more technical things. So when you are writing content on the website, for example, behind that, there are metadata and schemas. More and more of these are coming into play. And I'm going to showcase to you 2 of them as part of today's presentation. These are really important. So your content has to be really good alongside the technology which you have as well. So XML markups, for example, LLMS.txt. I'll talk about that in a little bit as well. All this will really help you to get better results. Let's go further. This is a very important strategy. Publish content everywhere. So as it happens, today, AISEO will like to see that you're publishing content everywhere. News platforms, industry blogs, online forums, open and closed areas. And that's very unusual because in SEO, we don't really care about behind the firewall or behind login screens. We only cared about what was visible to the engine or the bots of Google. But today, the online forums behind closed walls are also important. So are offline or physical newspapers. And we'll see why that's the case in the next slide. But all these are important. Review sites, video platforms, podcasts, academic journals, press releases. And why is that? As it happens, OpenAI, the parent company of ChatGPT, has done deals with a plethora of news sites and websites like Wall Street Journal, News Corp, Reddit, which is a UGC platform, user-generated content web, Time Magazine, Condé Nast. In fact, if you look over here, there's a plethora of tools and sites and publications they've done deals with, including News Corp, Time Magazine, Vox Media, The Atlantic, Condé Nast, Excel Springer, you name it, they've done all. In fact, if you look at and do a double click on these different publications, they are a whole set of newspapers like Wall Street Journal, for example, Sunday Times and beyond, magazines like the Times Library, television, radio, social media, book publishing. Then you go further, special editions, magazine, social media, and then finally, it's a more digital publication. This is just a small set of the deals they've done. So these companies like OpenAI are taking the data from these guys and using them to find the answers for you. So unlike before, it's also important to be published on these sites as well. The more you get visible and seen and recommended on sites like these, as well as Reddit, which is a UGC content. And by Reddit is a source of data for a lot of the ChatGPT as well as Gemini results. So Reddit has become a very important player in this source of data. In fact, that's why they've kind of spent $70 million at OpenAI to do a deal with Reddit, because they are taking the content and the recommendations constantly. So, as a summary, the big picture is that media presence is super important now for AI SEO. And as you do that, you're training the brain of the AI, which helps it to learn about you, but also into real-time search, this answer comes in. Now, real-time search has become really important for us. Let me give you an example of it. For example, if you ask who is the current president of the US or prime minister of the UK, to get the answer to be correct, it has to go to do an online search, which in the case of OpenAI, it used to be Bing, but now they build their own version as well. It's Gemini, it's Google. So they're doing real-time search to give you the answer. The top, you can see that it can't give you the answer if it just looks at on its brain. It needs to go and do a real-time search to get the answer, which in this case, the president now is Trump. Now, what you'll notice is that, as I mentioned before, ChatGPT's brain is stuck in June of 2024, and they will update it very soon. But till then, if you just use the brain of the AI, you will get incorrect answers. Let's go further. So, as it happens, for real-time search to work, SEO still matters. You still need to invest into SEO, and that is a very crucial part of all our business as it happens. Let's go further. I'm going to show you now 3 important techniques to start ranking for AI SEO. These 3 are AI specific research, number 2 is SEO, and number 3 is PR and brand building. So this is by far the most important step in the journey of AI SEO. The first step, as it happens, is an audit. Look through all the current results you get on ChatGPT, Gemini, and Perplexity for the terms you should be appearing as well, to figure out which company is appearing there, the results where you should be appearing, and auditing that. And looking over the next 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, and 12 months to see what's happening with your ranking. So that when you optimize your site and your media presence, you're able to see the results for yourself. So this is the most important step to audit where you are so you can build yourself a benchmark and goals. Number 2 is SEO. It's still really important to be able to rank on search engines as well, because that will impact your real-time results. And as I mentioned before, this real-time search is growing constantly. So looking at these 5 things within SEO, your UX and UI, so user experience and user interface. So basically having a good experience with the end user. Number 2 is strong core web vitals. If you are a Google user, if you are a marketeer, you probably only are looking at CWV. This is a way to make sure your website is current and ranked well on Google. Number 3 is make sure your site is secure. Things like HTTPS, for example, has to be maintained, as well as make sure it's available to everybody, whether you are a normal user or less abled. Number 4, avoid intrusive ads on your site. And finally, make content clear and distinct. Now, to add to this, there is what we call Robots.txt. If you're a marketeer or technical person, you probably understand it. Robots.txt is a file which tells the bots what they can see or cannot see. You can also block bots as well from Google, for instance. But now, apart from Google bots, you also have the ChatGPT crawlers. You have 2 of them available to you. One is called OAI search bot. Number 2 is GPT bot. You know, make sure that you enable more of them. OAI search bot is effectively when you search in real time on ChatGPT, it comes to your website and looks for the answer on your web pages. So you want to make sure you enable that so you can have real-time search. And GPT bot is effectively created and used to train the brain or the corpus of the ChatGPT bot here. So you can enable more of these in Robot.txt. Number 2 is, as it happens, Perplexity and another AI tool called Claude also have bots. So you make sure that these are also enabled for you so that you can actually get them to work. Effectively, they come to your site, they scrape your data, and then give you a ranking and presence. Right. One thing new which has come to the market and has been a talk, a lot of discussions, is LLMS.txt. Like Robot.txt, this is a new framework to allow you to allow or disallow some of the bots to come to your site. I strongly believe it's going to be a big part of the future where we'll see bots being asked to do certain things for you to show you more visibility. And that is where the opportunity lies. And I really feel that if you aren't already have LLMS.txt enabled on your site, you start doing that because it will become a very important part of the jigsaw. All right. And that's it all, folks. I want to keep it nice and simple, and I want to give you some tangible outcomes. So this is what AISEO is all about. It is easy if you follow the right steps. This is going to change a lot of things, and we're going to see some really massive outputs for people who implement this. And I can guarantee this to you all. If you are a marketeer or you're a company which relies on digital marketing, you have to get on this thing straight away. Because if you don't do that, it might be too late. If you want to learn more about it, please do scan this QR code, and you can get to our site to receive the more information on our website. And here I have for you something which is really, really powerful. I have for you a plethora of tools to make your AI SEO journey far better. So if you just scan the QR code very quickly using your laptop's mobile phone, I'm going to make it a little bigger for you so you can all see it. And then what I like to do is scan the QR code. It's a small form to let us know how it performed today. And then you can get and download a 16 pages long cheat sheet on different tools to help you with your AI journey. And now we're going to open up to some questions. And I'm just going to see if there are any questions there. I think there's some Q&As already there. Okay, so we got 2 questions there already. One is from Denitsa. And the question is, hi Raj, great presentation. Can you please elaborate a bit more on the schema point you mentioned briefly? Yes. So there are conventions laid down by the W3C, the Worldwide Consortium, where they give you and allow you to choose. I don't know if so allow you to kind of have the best practices there. For example, making sure that you have metadata for all your descriptions, have all tags for your images, for an example, as well. This really helps to make sure your content is aligned. Why is that? You see, as the volume of content increases on our site, we'll see more newly formed conventions and schemas available and requested by LLMs. You'll have to follow. For example, we'll have a complete file which will give the LLMS the information to grab very quickly. So instead of visiting our normal HTML site, they might visit a separate site, a separate document to grab all the information which is relevant to them. It's a bit like a navigation map, like a site map, but more designed for AI tools. And for that to be formed, you need to make sure you have the right conventions. And there are multiple conventions in the market. You'll find them all on the W3C, the org consortium, and you can look at them. Again, this is a more technical area, so your developers should be aware of it. The more you follow them, the more it will create more AI tools to visit your site as bots do. So hopefully that gives you an answer. Again, if you want some more information, reach out to me separately and I can give you a more detailed information on that. Next one I have is from Emma. Emma, good to hear from you. The question there is, thank you so much, Raj. Really informative session. Hope you're going to replay the session. We'll catch it again. Yeah, we might actually launch this publicly, the session. I think we'll have a check-in site, but we might launch the session internally as well, so people can actually revisit this as well. They can grab some notes from there. All right. Apart from this, we also have obviously some questions which are being live streamed from the corporate site or the YouTube. Bianca, are there any questions there you wanna hang on?
Yeah. Hey, Raj.
Hey.
Thanks again for this session. Super helpful. So I've got a couple of quick questions. First one is, so what are my next steps with AISEO?
Yeah, great question there, Bianca. Thank you so much for the question. So the first most important next step for any company is to do a deep dive audit of what are they seeing when they enter the prompts that they should appear. You need to do this definitely in ChatGPT, but also on Perplexity as well as on Gemini. You need to create keyword maps from there, different questions, the results, who comes up on the results, the source of information, understand the biases which we see from these LLMs as well. Understanding that deeply is going to help you. So what you need to do is create a minimum 30 days daily routine input of the different prompts where you should be appearing as the answer, and then audit that. And then do that for month number 2 and month number 3. In that month number 1, at the end of it, you will receive a better idea of what you should be creating. Now, you have two opportunities here. One is, for example, is say for instance, you are a car manufacturer and you're seeing that for the fastest car, which is meant to be you're not appearing. You first figure out who is the one who's coming up right now. What is their web pages are ranking really well, and what sources are helping them rank better. Number one, you can do there is create a separate page or improve the current page that you have to have that bias that ChatGPT might have. Ideally, I would say create a separate page altogether, which is focused around this area. Number two is the source. If the source doesn't have you or your company as one of the providers of the fastest car, then you need to reach out to them and see if you can get yourself listed there as well. Because that is a way for you to then be ranked and picked up by these tools. But the first change happens on your site. And to achieve that, you need to understand where are you placed today, and for that you require the audit. Bianca, question number 2, please.
Next one is it okay to use AI-generated content for our website or on third-party platforms?
Yeah, the short answer is no. Using AI content is an absolute no-no. You can use AI to do research, but to actually create content on your site, it has to be human created. Let me explain. There are multiple research papers now available online where they have shown that these AI tools can engage if the content is written by a user, a human being, or an AI. And that what that means really is that if you write content using Gemini, Google can find out. And if you write content using ChatGPT, Bing, etc., can find out. And there probably is information sharing happening between the Bing camp and the Google camp. And they can actually see patterns inside the these words being put into your site. They can also, for example, tell you very accurately who made the content, by which login username, and on what date. They can actually figure that out. And how they do that, they will watermark your content. So when you write the content down, they are on purpose adding punctuation, adding different characters with different ASCII codes, again, with technical disinformation, but there's a way to kind of change the ASCII codes and still see the same ABC. That what implies is that you might see an ABC, but actually the code behind it is different. And so they can then understand that is using AI. And there have been multiple sites where they have seen a massive lowering of their traffic because of the quality of content. Also, apart from watermarking the content, there is also the style of content writing using AI that tends to be pretty poor to the least. So like we have, for example, in retail, you have a handmade leather bag versus a machine-made leather bag. The handmade leather bag is worth much more. Similarly, if it's a content writing as well, or content creation as well, you will see that stuff written using your human beings, your writers will fetch you better results today and the future as well. So think about that. Definitely use AI for research and use AI for making sure you have hit all the different requirements, but continue to obviously use human beings to write content, because that's going to help you get better ranking. All right. If not, then I just want to say thank you all for your time today. I really appreciate you jumping on today from across the world. And obviously, if you have any questions, by all means, reach out to us. Very happy to help you out. And look forward to having you again to the next session for AISEO. Meanwhile, keep doing your thing and hope and wish you all the best with your AI SEO journey. Thank you so much.